Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are my passion for life.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Passion Supernatural Podcast, where we discuss what we think is the best soap opera ever, Passions. How you doing? I'm Joe Velasquez. Sitting with me is my lovely co-star and friend. I hope
Casey.
she's my friend, Casey Metcalf. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing good.
That's
How about
good.
you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Yes, thank you for asking. Now, remember, everyone, we are airing exclusively every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you don't have to pay because we are only on YouTube. Free. That's right. We're free. Free as a
Free.
bird. So please, everyone, don't be shy. Give us a like and subscribe. And if you're interested in being a guest star on the show, because you're a huge Passions fan like we are, please reach out to us in the comments section below and tell us your name and a messenger we can find you on, and one of us will reach out to you at some point. Okay? So, here we are again, another show and everything. That's great. Yes. And so, yeah, I mean, Casey and I, we were just at it again, watching more episodes
Yeah.
just yesterday. Yeah, just yesterday and everything. Yeah, we were watching more episodes and we're getting further into it.
Until McGill and Andorra comes back.
Not much longer now. Only a few more episodes to go. 6 or 7, somewhere around there. A lot of things going on. A lot of things happening. Passions is really. Oh, and before we go on, I think I better get this out of the way, y'all. I mean, something really good for everybody. Everybody, our wishes come true and everything. We finally got our very first cast member guest star, everyone. That's right. We finally got someone. He will be appearing next week on Saturday. So be sure to
Don
tune in
Swaby.
because it's right. We're getting our very first who played Chad number 1, Don Swaby. He will be with us at the same time next weekend and everything. So please tune in. Be sure to watch. We're going to be asking him questions. We are going to be finding out more about the show. Maybe we'll find out about other cast members. We will we hopefully we'll find out a lot. We're hopefully we're in for a treat with having our first guest appearance, cast member, guest appearance, whichever word you guys want to use. And so, yeah, this is great news at last. Don Swaby, people.
Yep.
Yep. So as I was saying before I had to say that, yeah, we just watched a few more episodes and everything, and we just watched a few more episodes, and things are getting further along, and things are, smoothly going. Um, you have to forgive my screen in the background. That's just my TV about ready to shut off because it's been on a screensaver for a while. So enjoy the blue on me for a little bit. And
Hmm.
um there has been quite a bit happening in Harmony with the last few episodes that we watched. I mean, I
Crazy stuff going on with
mhm,
Louise and Pretty having you know what together.
yeah,
And, and Alistair wants them to do it and stay coop up in the place they was at.
that's right.
And Louise attack Alistair because he said something about Pretty. He won't shove about Pretty,
Yeah,
saying crap about her and making fun of her and stuff, saying she ain't pretty and no guy ever
bastard.
wants to date her.
He is such a bastard, I tell you. Yep. And as I've been saying for weeks since we've started and everything, I don't want to spoil anything for Casey that she hasn't seen yet. Well, she actually got something of a spoiler, you know, during the last few episodes, because we had a brief return from Timmy, but as I told her while we were watching it definitely looked like a cheap,
Like a
you know,
doll.
I mean, well, yeah, but not only was it a doll, but you could just totally tell that it wasn't Josh Ryan Evans. I mean,
No,
obviously, because the actor is dead, but usually, usually, I know a lot of times whenever they wanna, for a lot of shows, I know that usually what they usually do is if they want to bring a character back, um, for voiceover work, that is. I mean, live action is different, but obviously, I mean, for with Timmy, Timmy was a real actor, but since they were trying to do voiceover work for this, usually I've noticed for a lot of shows, whenever they want to bring a character back or keep a character on the show, that is, um, with voiceover work, um, they what they usually do is they usually use um old dialogue that they had already recorded. Either it was old recordings, or
yeah,
it was recordings that was never used, and stuff like that. And I mean they did that with, like, Isaac Hayes on South Park, and they did it with Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story 4, and stuff like that. They've done that with a lot of actors and voices. They just use old recorded footage and everything. But this right here, this was not old recorded footage. You can totally tell this is just another actor or something just trying to imitate Josh Ryan Evans, and you can just totally tell it's not him. I mean, yeah, they do a pretty good job of doing the voice, but at the same time, you can tell it's not him. So I'm like thinking that is cheap. That is just cheap, 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 and everything. So, like that and everything. And so, um, yeah, so Casey came into something like that with a spoiler that I was keeping hush hush from her. I didn't want to tell her Timmy was gonna come back at some point briefly, but I didn't want to tell her that. So,
no, I mean, he can't come back anyway,
oh.
because there's nobody that looks like him. Nobody
Mm-mm.
is,
I mean, come on, Josh Ryan Evans. I mean, it was different. It was different with it was different when they had to recast Alistair, even though the actor had died. It was different because the actor was still filming at the time of his death and everything, and Alistair was still on and still had scenes to do and stuff like that. So they had no choice but to recast him. But Josh Ryan Evans, that was different with Timmy. They basically it was, well, supposed to be temporarily killed the character off, and while the actor went into his, what was it, his heart surgery or whatever it was,
yeah,
and just the actor ended up passing and all that stuff or whatever. So that was different. You can't just recast Timmy. Alistair was a different story. So, and from what I've noticed, a lot of actors. I mean, again, this is something that me and a friend of mine talk about normally. If I talk about this a number, that it still confuses the hell out of me. Really, 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 really confuses me on a lot of soaps and everything. I've never really understood why many soap operas don't recast actors whenever an actor has died or whatever, but they recast if an actor just leaves and doesn't want to come back. I never really understood because, again, I mean, if you look at Days of Our Lives, Stefano, he died and they didn't recast him. We just
no,
lost Drake, who played John. They didn't replace
John,
him, and stuff like that. But it seemed like David Bailey dies and they replace him with John Riley. So I'm like, I never really understand that whole thing of how the whole recasting thing works. It's like there's times where they can't replace an actor and there's a time where they just won't. And I've never really understood what it is that how that all works, but it's something me and my friend have been talking about for a good while, and I just don't. Yeah.
don't get,
Yeah.
if an
Especially
act,
I
if an
mean, especially.
actor dies,
Mm-hmm.
if an actor dies, they should die off the show too. You
A
know what I
lot of
mean?
times they do. A lot of times they do.
Yeah,
It's just it's just like I said, I really believe that the main reason why they did that was because Alistair was still filming. He still had appearances to make and all that kind of stuff and everything. I mean, I mean, there was no way to just write him off all of a sudden. They just introduced the guy. I mean, David Bailey, he had just appeared on screen as Alistair for the very first time. He was only on there for like a few episodes, 4 or 5. I don't know. I would have to look up how many episodes he did, but he was still filming and he had a lot to do and stuff like that still. So they couldn't just kill him off like that. They had no choice but to recast him. And John became the permanent Alistair, but there's no way you could replace Timmy. Josh Ryan Evans is Timmy. Everybody loved him.
Yeah. Poor guy had to go through whole problems and stuff.
Yeah.
His daughter with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. There's a that's just I don't know. I guess it's gonna take a bit for me to figure out how these soaps work and everything. Yeah. but but anyways, I mean, what else? I mean,
And
like
then Teresa finally told little Ethan about Ethan being his dad.
that was
And
something
Larry,
fairly new for me. I mean, I did not remember that. I thought little Ethan knew this whole time. I thought little Ethan knew for a long time that he was Ethan's son. I didn't realize that this was the moment when she very first told him. I didn't. I mean, I remember that. I remember that scene, but I don't remember her telling him Ethan is your real father and all that stuff. I did not. I did not know that was the first time. I thought he had known for a while.
she deserved to tell him, because he deserves to know who his real dad is. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes. Absolutely. Yep. So I mean, yeah. So Teresa finally did that. You're right.
And then Larry Ethan went up to Ethan and say, "Daddy," and then hug him. And Teresa's like, "What did
I
he
saw
just
that. I
do?"
was like, kids, seriously. I mean, I was like, please tell me this is a dream. I'm like, this can't be real. He just promised his mom.
Yeah.
And little Ethan has always been very, very mature for his age and everything. He just promised his mom. Why in the world would he do that? It wasn't a dream, but
Maybe because he got too excited because he really likes Ethan and he has
yeah.
a great bond with him and
hmm
he's excited. So he just, you
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
he didn't mean to do that. So,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And Gwen's kind of going through her own dilemmas right now and everything. I mean, wow,
Yeah.
I don't remember her breaking down as much as she's done in these episodes. I don't remember that much. I don't remember her having those nervous breakdowns and those fantasies and dreams and all that stuff. I don't remember all of that. I was like,
She
wow,
just
Gwen
need
really did have a moment.
Yeah, she just really needs to care about her kid more than you know, with Ethan, going to be with Ethan forever, and she should
hmm
just focus on her kid right now.
That's
What's
right.
best for him.
Yeah, Jonathan needs the caring for more. Yeah.
Mm,
And like I said before, it was around this time where I really started to think that maybe Gwen really did have a heart and that it was Rebecca who was going to be the real villain. But like I said, I mean, we all know how the show ends and everything, so that's just not true. But for a very long time, I really just believed that Gwen may redeem herself and just turn out to be like a puppet being controlled by Rebecca and maybe turn
yeah,
around and say, "What have I done all these years I've done wrong?" But like I said, no, we all see that we all know that's not how it happens.
And Rebecca tried to stop Gwen from going
Yeah.
telling Ethan about little Ethan being his son, and
Yep.
she got a shot.
Yeah.
She tried
Yeah.
to get calm her down with that.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. And yeah, so Gwen is actually having her own moments that I don't remember. And something tells me that Fancy and Sheridan may be getting closer to finding Luis and Pretty, because Fancy has been able to see what Luis is doing and everything, but I guess the whole question is now, is Fancy going to forgive Luis?
I mean, for sleeping with her aunt and then sleeping with her sister.
Luis really seems to get around with those Cranes for how much he hated them when they very first when he hated them when the
Yep.
show very first started and everything. I outside of Beth, I really can't think of any other girl in Harmony that Luis has been with who was not a Crane.
Mm.
I mean, of the women that he's been with, slept with, married to, whatever, Beth, I think, might have been the only one that was not a Crane that Luis actually was attracted to, maybe slept with. I can't remember. I wasn't watching back then. Was with. I think he even married Beth for a time. I wasn't watching during that time, so I don't know. But I think Beth might have been the only one that wasn't a Crane. Sheridan, Fancy, and Pretty are all Cranes, and they're all related for that matter. That Luis just keeps
Mm.
getting in the bed, hitting the sheets with.
I know, crazy.
At least on Days of Our Lives, Galen actually, as Rafe, gets to expand himself with various different women. He's been married and engaged to all these different women, whereas Luis just seems to get around with these blonde Cranes, all related.
Mm.
Well, that is if you don't count Precious.
Yeah,
You okay over there?
yeah,
You're moving the camera around a lot.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my phone's kind of going dead. I'm trying to charge it real quick.
Oh dear. You should have had that
Yeah,
fully charged before we began, girl.
yeah. Been
But
playing my game. Yep.
as I was saying or whatnot, Spike seems to still be on the roll and everything. I mean, doing Alistair's bidding and all that stuff. It's like I told Casey, and like I've said many times on the show, it's just so shocking that Spike is such a big role when the show moved to DirecTV. Spike had a very, very big role. He had a lot going on for him, and his story is never wrapped up. By the end of the show, he's still out there just doing whatever, and we never see him again. We don't know what happens to him. It's shocking for such a big character like that.
Yep. Spike never got in trouble with the police, so
Oh yeah, he did.
never.
He got in trouble with the police a lot. He's been in I'm just saying that when the show wraps up he doesn't. But he's been in jail. He's just always managed to escape.
Mm,
He's
mm,
done a lot of unrealistic, escapes, if you know what I mean. I mean, the way that he's able to outfight a cop and able to knock a cop out like that, I'm like thinking that is so not real. You wouldn't be able to do that in real life. In real life, I think, number one, cops are just a lot stronger than you are. If you're being arrested, if you tried to fight back, all that would do is just make it worse for you. And maybe not always, but I think there might be more than one that is with them when they put you in cuffs. Whereas Spike, for some reason, he's able to just knock a cop on the head, knock him unconscious, and make a run for it. I'm like, that is so unrealistic.
mm.
You'd never be able to escape a cop that way, especially if you're in cuffs.
Nope.
Um, oh, and actually, we finally got to see some Norma and Edna when Casey and I were watching. They came back.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Casey, I really have never really known. I've never really known like what was their purpose. I know who Norma and Edna are, but every single time that I've seen them, and that I remember them, they always were talking to Tabitha and stuff like that or whatever. But I I never really knew like who they were, what their purpose on the show was, who were they related to. I just knew they knew Tabitha. That's all I knew. And so I never really got that familiar with Norma and Edna.
Adnat was Beth's mom.
Yeah, I thought I remembered Edna
Yeah.
having a relationship with Beth. I just again I didn't watch much of Beth's storyline. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know. I thought that Edna was some sort of relation to Beth. Um Believe me, there's a lot more to come. You're actually going to be shocked with a lot of the stuff that's coming up, Casey, because I mean, there's just so much. Because I mean, I mean, from the stuff that we've seen in the past and everything, I mean, we know now that Vincent is pregnant. You're gonna be, you're gonna,
Like,
you're gonna be pretty shocked when you see the direction they go with that and everything. And even when Vincent gives birth and everything, I'm not going to go into details, but he ain't done. He's not just going to be this full on mother, father, whatever you want to call him or whatever. He ain't just going to be that. He's still a dangerous, evil murderer, and he's out that he's still going to do stuff. God, I love Vincent. He's such my favorite villain. So there's still more going in that direction. You're going to be kind of shocked and everything of a lot of the stuff that happens or whatever, with him. And um, since we're getting closer to Christmas, not only are Endora and Miguel coming back, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I mean, there is another character going to be returning that you're gonna probably go wide-eyed for and everything. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I did not see that coming or something.
like,
Um,
oh, I remember them, or
hmm.
whatever. Oh, I
Oh,
remember who.
yeah, you'll remember them. You'll remember them. You
Yep.
just will be like, oh my God, I did not see that return coming, is all. Even I didn't see it coming, and I wasn't even watching during that storyline. I still didn't see it coming, regardless. Um, and stuff like that, and everything. And we're gonna get another evil character. So we still don't know. We still don't know who's been killing all of Esme's boyfriends, including Fox. We still don't know who shot Fox, and we don't know who's been killing all her other boyfriends and stuff like that. So that still has to be revealed. We're gonna get a new evil and all that. I mean, well, I mean, yeah, it's new, but it's like just somebody else to add on to the others. Because I mean, Alistair and Vincent and Spike are still at large and everything, so this will just be another one to add on. And
Yep.
I don't know if you want to count Pretty as necessarily something of a villain. I don't know if you want to count her. So, um, um,
I
um,
think she is another villain too.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, like I said, she's got a lot more coming up. She has got a lot of stuff, um, coming up. Pretty. She is a very, very, very big character in the show in this season. When she first came on, she was mainly there just to basically ruin, Fancy, get revenge on Fancy for what, or so she says that Fancy did to her. But on this season, the DirecTV season, she gets a lot more to do. She's not just out to ruin Fancy, she's out to get what she wants. And so,
Yep. Because Fancy had more than she did when they was younger.
yeah.
All the guys liked her, and Pretty's feeling, jealous, and
it's so interesting or whatever that, when Pretty first came back, she was just brought back mainly because, Sheridan had Vincent do it and everything. So she was only there because of that. And look at her now.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see here. I mean, oh man, what else is there? Um,
Um, let's see.
we
We
didn't. Hmm?
and it was showing about Louise and Pretty the whole episodes.
Pretty
Oh
much,
yeah.
yeah. A lot of focus on that. A lot of focus on them too. Um, it's crap. I forgot now what I was gonna say. Shoot. um, there's just I mean crap. Oh, now I remember. We from these last number of episodes, we haven't seen very much of Kay and everything.
Nope.
So no, just mainly just Tabitha having that little communication with Timmy briefly and stuff like that. But
At
um,
first she thought was Andorra, but
mhm.
it came out to be Tammy. So
Like I said, I can't get over how cheap that was. It was just a cheap way. Number one, Timmy's not a doll anymore. He became a real boy when he died. So why in the world would they use the doll form and everything? He looks like Pinocchio a little bit.
mm,
I mean, well, Josh Ryan Evans did say that to play his character, he took inspiration from Pinocchio, not Chucky. He made that very clear. He wanted everybody to
mm,
know I'm basing him off Pinocchio, not Chucky. And so,
mm,
yeah, um, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but the only thing I could think of was if they were to take like a video or something of Josh Ryan Evans and just then do the voiceover, but don't use a flipping doll.
no.
Like I said, if they used a video archive or something like that or whatever, if they used a video archive, fine, and just had a voiceover, but not a doll. That just looks so cheap. It's not his voice and it's not him.
No.
Um,
Whoever was doing his voice did a good job though.
yeah, he did a good job, but you could still tell that it wasn't Josh. There was a
Mm,
good number of moments in there to where I'm like thinking that is not Josh's voice.
mm,
He's doing a good job with disguising his voice, but you can tell it's not the same actor. And we all know
yeah.
why. I'm just saying it just I mean there have been other portrayals out there that have done other I'm not talking about Passions, I'm just talking about other shows where they've done voiceovers that have just some have done better. Either they just went they just did better than that, if you know what I mean. We're a lot more convincing. However, there have been some shows that have just been completely lazy and would have a voiceover that sounds nothing like the character. So believe me, I've seen a fair number of them where they're just lazy and they're just trying to either squeeze the character in or write the character off, and they just get some voice that sounds nothing like them. So yeah, but you're
Right.
right.
Yeah.
This guy did a fairly good job. You could just tell though that it wasn't Josh, though, is all.
No.
And that's what's so interesting about as I've mentioned before, when Miguel comes back and Blair Redford takes over the role, Blair Redford makes the character his own and doesn't copy Adrian or Jesse. So he makes the character fresh and his own and stuff like that. And I like that. So at least in this character, I like that. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that with her. It just depends. I don't really know. I wasn't watching very much Travis as Ethan, even though I have definitely seen videos of Travis as Ethan. I really didn't see that much of him, but just from what I've seen and everything, if I just between the two, I just think that Travis was more loud and outgoing, whereas Eric, while still being serious and fun, he's also very quiet compared to Travis. So I think that that might be a bit of a difference and stuff like that. So,
They got two different personalities.
hmm
Like you comparing to Brady from Days of Our Lives and to
that's
Ethan
very
from
different.
Passions. They both got two different personalities.
That's very different. That's why Eric Martzoff likes it so much. He's very, very, very happy right now. He said that for how different it is, he's totally embracing this dark side. Because for not 9 years, however long he played Ethan, he was basically being vanilla ice cream. He was
Mm,
always just he was just always a do-gooder and always trying to do the right thing and just was so lovable because of whatever good he could do. Whereas Brady is completely dark. He's very dark and he actually does get violent and he drinks and he used to be a drug abuser before he took over the role of the character when he was played by Kyle Lauder. He was a drug abuser and all that stuff. He was a total schmuck before Eric came on as in the role and stuff like that. And as Eric has pointed out, he's got some hair on his face. Ethan would never have hair on his face, never.
mm.
Um, and everything, but it's completely different. They're like, it's apples and oranges, as Eric likes to put it. It's apples and oranges.
Yep.
Yeah. It I will say that I do know that Eric really likes working with Lindsay Hartley as his love interest. He really, really likes working with her because when I spoke to him on a Zoom chat during a Zoom Q&A, that he and I don't know who else was in the chat, some other actors from Days. I remember asking, um, well, actually, I think it might have been him and Galen Gehring. I think both of them might have been in the chat, and I think I asked them both. I asked them if they could bring another actor from Passions to join Days, who would they want to join Days? And Eric actually said, I want Lindsay Hartley back. He said that he thought that that was a really, really, really good relationship, and they really messed it up by having her get hit by a car and killing her off. So he really wants her back. And I've said that several times. I've said, I mean, again, I'll just say this. So this is how it is with with a lot of soaps, as we all know. In soap operas, what character stays dead and everything? We all know that. I mean, when you get killed on a soap opera, there's always a chance that you can be brought back somehow and everything. There's just whether you weren't actually killed, but you were presumed dead, or they just have some sort of magical way to bring you back. I mean, come on. I mean, even Luis was almost executed, but he was brought back by Endora. So there's always ways that you can bring a character back. And I've mentioned this before, on Days of Our Lives in Salem, they actually have this effing drug. They actually have a drug that all they have to do is inject it into a person and it brings them back to life. And I'm like thinking,
And
whoever has that stuff, give it to me because I've got some people I want to bring back. And
they actually do that when someone relapses from a drug overdose. They like sap them and make them come back.
right, but this isn't like that. This is when a person is actually dead,
And
when their heart stops and they're not breathing and they are completely pronounced dead. All they got to do is inject them with this needle and it brings them back alive. I know what you're talking about. That stuff is true. This isn't. I said
yeah,
I said whoever has this stuff, give it to me because there is people I want to bring back. But um I've actually said to a few friends of mine, I've said, you know, they really need to consider bringing back Ariana, especially now that Gabby has named her daughter Ariana after her sister. They really need to consider doing that. But my friend said that she has been gone for so many years, nobody will remember her. It just she's been gone for way too long. But um I just think it's a great way to bring Lindsay Hartley back because again, Lindsay hasn't really had any soap operas since they killed off the character of Sam on General Hospital, and she would usually step in whenever the original actress couldn't do it. Lindsay Hartley would temporarily play the part. And ever since they killed off Sam, Lindsay Hartley really hasn't had any soap operas to do. Well, bring her back to days, bring her back to life.
Yep. She's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I can't
Yep.
blame you. Like I said,
Yep.
I talked to her for like a mere minute on a phone call, but she really couldn't talk. So, but I at least got her on enough to hear her voice and stuff like that. So,
Mm.
um, man, what else has been going on in this crazy town? I'm excited for
Uh,
you to see the next ones and everything. 'Cause, I mean, we still have like only a few left before we get to Christmas Eve, and then we'll have to get through New Year's. Um,
yep. To see um the magic Miguel Andor comes back.
right, but to go along with that, I mean, then we got to go into New Year's and everything, and we have to see like what happens with the characters at the beginning of a new year. I mean, a new year, you're supposed to be with the one you love. So, I mean, will
And then
Fancy actually get Luis and all that on New Year's? Will Teresa get Ethan on New Year's? And I mean, Miguel's back and everything. We'll have to see by that point, but we'll have to see what happens.
if him and Kay will get back together.
Yeah, yeah, he is back by New Year's and everything. We just have to see what happens with them. Especially
Mm.
now that Fox is dead, there's nothing really to come between them anymore. Um, I mean, before Fox was still trying to have Miguel killed so that Kay could return to him and all that stuff and everything. I don't think Fox really realized it didn't matter if Miguel was dead. Kay would still not come back to him or whatever. It's what he did. It's got nothing to do with. Yeah, she was in love with Miguel, sure, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
more of what he did that made her leave him. So that just because her fiance's dead, that doesn't mean that it can fix what he lied to her about. So he was wasting his time.
Mm.
He would basically need somebody like Tabitha to reverse time to get Kay back or something, you know?
Yep. Like go back in time or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised. I mean, well they did sort of time travel, but only for one room when Endora changed the times back to when before Luis was executed. That was kind of time travel, but it was really only time travel for just one room. It wasn't like, I mean, when Ethan and Teresa came back in, they had no idea of what was going on during that time. So
Mm.
they had no idea what was going on. So it was really only time travel for one room, not all of Harmony. I'm surprised that with all the magic that Tabitha and Dora, the witches and all of them had. I'm surprised that time travel wasn't, an actual thing that they did on Passions and everything with all the supernatural elements. I'm surprised that they didn't like, I don't know, take the characters back all the way to like the first episode and have them see what it was like back then. They could
Mm.
even they could even when they sent them back in time, they could even replace Travis with Eric, if you know what I mean, as if Eric had always been Ethan or something like that or whatever. They sort of did that with Days of Our Lives. It wasn't time travel, it was flashbacks. It was
Yep.
flashbacks to when they were remembering things, and they took characters that had been recast since that moment and just redid the whole scene and just put that actor in there. So the new actor in there. So I mean, they could that would have worked out great with Passions. I mean, to actually, I don't know, like see. Kay, like Kay could go back in time and actually see how much trouble she went through to get Miguel, and they put the new Miguel in there and everything, and as if he was always there or something. And yeah, it just surprises me
Yeah,
that was never a storyline on Passions with all the magic that there was. That's like actually a great idea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
And then like Teresa wanted Glenton to focus on the baby,
hmm,
try to do everything to save him.
yeah. I mean, she was mainly doing it for Ethan's sake and everything, you know. I mean, guess that's what you do for true love.
Yeah,
You do whatever you have to for the person you love. Just wait until Ethan finds out that little Ethan is really his son. I mean, after everything, that is like that's going to be one big jump for Ethan. He's probably going to need some serious therapy.
yeah, because his mom did that to him, kept his secret about Sam Bennett is his dad. So
Yeah.
he's going probably going to
Hmm.
think, oh, my mom did the same thing to me too.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan, yeah, he exactly. I mean, he thought that Julian was his father to only find out that Sam was, and that Ethan wasn't even a Crane. So
Yeah,
even though he's not a Crane, he still has all this wealth and power still.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, man, where to actually take the story and everything. I mean, there's so much coming up that you're gonna be shocked to see, Casey,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff that we've been through already, and now that we're gonna have our first guest appearance actor on the show next weekend, um, it's
And I
just
can't wait.
I
I'm
can't either. It's
excited.
gonna be great. We're gonna actually have a
Yeah.
real show next weekend. It's really for everybody whoever has watched our show, they're actually gonna get some real excitement. It's not just gonna be all talk. We're gonna find out some stuff. We'll ask him whatever we can ask him, and we'll actually get some answers, and we'll find out what it was like for Chad number one before he left the show. Maybe we can even find out why he chose to leave the show, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why his character left the show. I never, and then was replaced by Charles Divins. He was one that I knew nothing about. I know that Charles Divins was killed off because he didn't want to renew his contract for DirecTV, so they killed him. But I know nothing about why Don Swaby left the show. So
Mm.
I actually there's a lot of actors that I don't know why they left the show. I don't know why the Jessica actors, I don't know why they left the show. All of them, from starting from a Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is huge today and everything. I mean, what, she was only there for like what, one season? I really can't remember how long Mary was there, and she's my favorite Jessica out of all the Jessicas. Mary is my favorite. I think Passions might have been how she got started before she became this big star, movie star that she is today. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, to be totally honest, a lot, even Jesse Metcalf, that was Passions was his big break before he went on to become as big as he is today and everything. I mean, he left to go do Desperate Housewives and stuff like that. But
And he was in movies.
yep, he's done a
Yep.
lot of movies and stuff like that. Indeed, yes. Yeah. So like I said, I think a lot of actors got their big breaks on Passions. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Jesse Metcalf. I think a lot of them got their big breaks there. I'll have to find out if what Don Swaby, if he had ever done acting before Passions or if he still does acting. We'll have to find out.
What got
There's a
him
lot of
into
things we can ask him.
acting?
But like I said, there's a lot of actors that I don't know why they left the show, whether they got fired or whether they chose to leave. I know there was a few number of actors who I know there was a few number of actors who had been fired from Days, because like they just, they they decided to kill the character off, or they decided, which the one that I find is really really sick, is that they fire an actor and recast them just because they want to take the character in a different direction. I think that's kind of stupid or whatever. I understand if they want to kill the character off, but if they want to take the character in a different direction, I feel like that's why directing is a thing. If you want the character to go in a different direction, then you direct them to go in that direction. You don't fire them and then recast them. I never really understood why that's what they did with Ariana. She was played by another actress, Felicia Farrell, something like that. I can't remember. But then she got fired and Lindsay Hartley took over. That one I approve of because I liked Lindsay Hartley better in the role, but still, I just think that a lot of actors, if they get fired just because they want to take the character in a different direction and they recast them, I think that's kind of insulting. I mean, you don't know what that actor is capable of doing. That actor could do what whatever. But I don't know about Passions. I don't know if there were any actors that got fired or if all of them just chose not to renew their contracts and chose to leave. See, I
Or
believe I
maybe
really,
they
really.
have,
Hmm?
and maybe they have something else they want to do with their lives. Maybe they want to go to a different job. They got another
Hmm?
job to go to.
Like I
A
mentioned,
new
I know
job.
that just like I said, I know that Jesse Metcalf left so that he could go do Desperate Housewives and everything. I know that for a fact, but other actors, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I mean, I've heard rumors of a few actors. I've mentioned this before. I've heard rumors. I don't know if it's necessarily true that, I mean, Deanna Wright, who was K number two, that she left because of religious differences. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's just a rumor that I heard. There was also a rumor that Taylor, who was the very first K, that she left because her and Jesse were having a romantic relationship, and then when they broke up, she decided to leave the show. But again, I don't know if that's true or not. That's just a rumor that
Um,
I heard.
I
I don't
never
know if that's
knew.
true.
I never knew they got together in
I
real
don't know if
life.
they did. I don't know if they did. I don't know. That's something
Yeah.
that's again, it's just something that I heard. Maybe they didn't get maybe they never were together. I don't know. I'm just saying it's just something that I had heard somewhere that they had a romantic relationship and then when they broke up, Taylor decided to leave the show or whatever when they broke up, but I don't know if that's true. Um, you know, I believe that Molly Stanton, I remember this years ago, long ago, like long, long, long ago, before I had anything to fear when it came to my Facebook. Oh, I remember years ago, I think I had a small little chat with Molly Stanton, who played Charity, the first Charity, um, on Passions. I had a small little chat with her on Facebook, and I asked her, was it her choice to leave or what? And she said no, they let me go, but then when they wanted me back, I was not available, so they recast me. And so
Um,
I guess it was a temporary firing, if you know what I mean. So they just decided to wrap up the character of Charity for the time being or whatever. But then when they wanted her back, she wasn't available, so they had to recast her. But Molly will always be Charity to me. That Christina Cisco, I think her name is, who took over. She's a good Charity, but she's not Molly. Molly was so much better. um,
yeah.
and stuff like that or whatever. And I know that again, I keep forgetting his new name, so that's why I'm still referring to him as Adrian Balani, even though he doesn't go by that name anymore. Um, I keep forgetting his new name. I know that he chose to leave, but I don't know the reason that he chose to leave. I mean, he was somebody else who I think I had a brief little conversation with, very, very, very brief. He said something along the lines that he was starting to feel like a piece of meat or something or whatever on the show or whatever. I don't know. I just get this very, very big feeling that having him being captured by the dark side was their way of planning a recast. So they had to basically write a storyline to bring Miguel back, and he would be played by a completely different actor. So like I said, no, I don't know why. I don't know why. Like Brooke Kerr, who played Whitney, I don't know why she left. I don't know why any of the Simones left. I don't know any of that stuff. So we'll find out something from Don or whatever on him or whatever, why he chose to leave the show. I mean, or if he was fired, I don't know. I think he chose to leave the show. I just get this feeling inside that he decided just not to renew his contract. But again, we'll find stuff like that out. We'll find out how he got the role, and we can really ask him some stuff. We can really find out, things.
Accent, how he feel about having the baby by his sister.
Was he
But Whitney,
was he even still on the show when that happened, or was it Charles? Oh, he was? Okay. Again, I didn't
yeah,
watch during his time. But when I started watching, Charles had already taken over the role. So
yeah.
I didn't I preferred Don, but I'm just saying when I started watching, I started when Charles had already taken over. Um yeah, stuff like that and everything. Yeah, you make out some questions yourself, because we really are going to be on the roll. We got some things that we got a whole hour to talk to him about. We're really going to have a show with him. So,
Yeah,
um,
I'm gonna sit down sometime this week and write down questions about what to ask him and stuff.
yeah. I even wonder if he'll remember any of the stuff that we talked to him about. I'm wondering if it's something that he keeps in his mind, or if it's something that he just forgets, because that was years ago. So, I'm wondering if he'll remember anything that we mention. But that's gonna be great. It's gonna be really, really, really cool to actually have him on the air with us and everything, and hopefully we'll find others. Let's pray, and let's hope that other people, we can find ways to react. We can reach out to these people and everything. I've tried reaching out to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't do Instagram. A lot of people don't answer private messages and stuff like that. I'm actually surprised that the ones that I've heard back from, I'm surprised that they actually answered me back, like Dylan Fergus and stuff like that, and Mackenzie Westmore for a time and stuff like that. I mean, I'm surprised that they actually have answered. It's just such a real bummer that we probably won't get Emily Harper Fancy, because nobody knows where she is.
Like she's a missing person.
Yeah. Like I said, Dylan Fergus told me that he saw her a few years ago and thinks that she quit acting, but nobody really has contact with her anymore.
Mm.
Yeah. I wish it was as easy as how I got Danny Woodburn, that he actually answered. I wish it was that easy to actually get somebody like him, I mean, I've sent emails to a lot of cast members and nobody but him responded.
Nope. Like I say, they all got busy lives.
That, or they're just not very um, social media email people. I mean, there's even people that
Mm.
I know. There's even actors out there who I know personally, who I have actually met at stage doors, and who know me and stuff like that. They don't even Instagram that much and stuff like that. So there are some people out there that just aren't social media people. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Um, we're really just gonna have to pray, because I want those people just as much as you do. I've got another person that I know. She said, another person that I know who I have invited to do the show, but she says that it's very hard for her to do weekends because she's just not available that much. I told her that if there's ever a time where you have to record early because you can't do a Saturday, I'll let her know and I'll let her know the time. Maybe she can appear. She said that she'll reach out to some people for me. She says that she said that she'll reach out to some people for me. She said that she'll probably start with James Hyde because he really seems to know people, and she thinks that if she can get a hold of Galen, he'll be able to get a hold of Mackenzie because they are coworkers and stuff like that and everything, and so she said that it makes sense that we were able to get Don to be our guest star. She said that sounds like him. She says, this person
Yeah.
that I know, that it sounds like Don.
Hmm.
And
It will be nice if we get every one of the cast members on.
totally. It's just gonna be hard to get in touch with them if they don't answer me. I mean, again, there's Kim Ulrich who played Ivy. I mean, Liza Huber who played Gwen.
Yep.
And then again, there are a lot of actors, unfortunately, that we're not going to be able to get because they're dead, sadly. We're not going to be able to get either of the seeable Alistairs. I mean, there is Alan Oppenheimer who did it when it was just the like that or whatever. We just heard his voice. Alan Oppenheimer is still alive, but the
other
seeable
ones
Alistairs are dead. And I mean, Andrea Evans is no longer with us. Ben Masters is gone. Bruce French, who played Father Lonigan, he's gone. There are just some actors we're not going to be able to get because they're dead. I mean, and we might as well accept this right here and now. There's no way I'm going to be able to get a hold of Maureen McCormick. I mean, come on, she's Marsha Brady. I mean, who's to even say
Marsha.
Exactly, Marsha, exactly like I said. Again, I'm a big Brady Bunch fan, so that's why I loved seeing her play Rebecca, and I prefer her over Andrea. But we might as well accept it. We'll never get her. She's like, oh, I could bet you almost anything that let's just say that if we were able to get Maureen McCormick on here, we'd probably be asking her more questions about the Brady Bunch than we would be asking her about Passions.
Right.
I mean, come on, that's how everybody knows her. Marsha, as you said. Yeah. So we'll probably be asking her more like, what was it like on the Brady Bunch? And we're here supposed to be focusing on Passions for the few episodes that she was on. And she was only on for like 4 episodes, and then they got Andrea, which I'm sorry. I know that many people like Andrea, but I'm sorry. I just prefer Maureen. Maureen was evil. She was scary. She was sinister. She just knew how to play bad woman. Andrea was a joke. Not that I don't like Andrea. I'm just saying the way they portrayed the character. Andrea was just a drunk who just was his comic relief. There was nothing frightening about her. I felt like there was some real threats with Maureen McCormick, and it just upset me and everything. I was telling my roommate. Again, I don't know. I'm just taking a wild guess. I said to my roommate, I said, how much you want to bet the reason why Maureen McCormick wasn't on for very long, how much you want to bet it was because they couldn't afford her? How much you want to bet that she was maybe asking for way too much? Because again, she's big. She's Marsha. She's just that kind of, I'm not saying she's a diva, but because of how big she is, those actors, they want big money. And so how much you want to bet they just probably couldn't afford her. So they said, we'll just take her until we can get a permanent actress. And they got Andrea Evans. But I just don't like the direction that they took with her, making her a drunken comic relief. I don't like that. I much prefer her being an evil, sinister threat, But like I said, I don't think we'll ever get Maureen McCormick. I mean, who knows if she even has social media? It's really hard to know. I mean, those Brady Bunch actors, who knows if they have social media and stuff like that. I mean, they may just be, those kinds of people that just don't do it because they're so big.
Yeah.
But
They want to keep everything private to this.
some want to keep private, and some want to keep private, and some just don't do it. I mean, there are some people. You got to remember, back in those days, social media wasn't even a thing. Back when the Brady Bunch was airing. So, but you know what, guys? You know what? Hey, that does it for this show. Thank you so much to all you fans. Be sure to join us next Sunday, where we will all have our very first Fashion Cast member guest appearance. As we said, Chad Harris Crane, #1, Don Swaby. That's right. This is going to be exciting. Sunday, October 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern. So please tune in and watch as we ask him some Passions questions. And once again, don't miss out on Passions Supernatural podcast, people. It's going to be a blast. And again, if you want to be a guest star on this podcast to join us for a full hour, nothing to it, just comment in the box below, tell us your name, best messenger to reach you on, and one of us, either myself or Casey, will get to you to discuss how we can get you on the show. And please be a doll, like and subscribe to our channel. We really ask you to please do that. But keep watching Passion Supernatural podcast. There's a lot more coming up. I mean, Casey still has a bit more to see and everything, a lot more things to come her way. I'm really catching her up. And, the show is just going to get better, hopefully. So we love you all. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Joe Velasquez.
And Casey Metcalf.
And just remember, you are our passion for life. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for joining me, Casey. Hope you had fun today. God bless. Thank you. Bye, you guys. Thank you, everybody. Bye.